invited M5 to that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You gotta invite them.
I bet the whole M5 would show up.
I mean, we showed us at the last M5 thing, so yeah. Oh, you know Key gonna be there too. Good God.
Yeah.
He loves it, man. I don't know what I'll be doing to folks. I just
All
be
right, we're
myself.
live.
All right.
All right. Let me see. Damn, I can't see it. Shit. What thumbnail do I even have?
It's the John the Broken Glass one, so it's good.
Oh, it changed? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we good then.
We vibing? Okay.
All right, then we live M5 featuring half of M5 featuring
Three.
JD Legend and Dustin. Here to talk about unOrdinary season 2.
I'm bored.
I think the first place I want to go, I want to talk to JD because he is the newest person to start reading unOrdinary. So I want to ask him his thoughts. Like, how do you feel about unOrdinary as a whole and season 2?
I like unOrdinary. I think it's an extremely captivating read. I think the funniest thing about it was how much I love John. I really, really like John. Like at the beginning, I was like, I like this kid. He ain't got no powers. He's fighting back. He's not letting nobody check him. But once you see the decline of him and his sanity, at first I get it. I'm just like, okay, Keon's a snake. We don't like Keon. You know, all my niggas hate Keon. But then after a while, John just started regressing to the point where I was just like, this is getting out of hand. Like, there's got to be a stopping point. There's got to be a point where he realizes, yo, I'm getting a little out of hand. And I thought Serafina would be the one that would be able to drag him out of it. But it's to the point where now he's even disrespecting my daughter. And now I'm just upset with John, period. I don't like John at all. Like, I think, yeah, no, I don't like John at all. I don't like that nigga at all. I hate him, actually.
Hold on, who's your daughter though?
Matter of fact, Serafina. That's my child. That's my shit. Excuse me? You just call her bitch? Hey. See you outside, nigga.
we know what Rhett's about.
Yeah, but season 2 has been good. I think getting more background with Remy, Eisen. I think Black has been a star. Arlo's been a star. So I've been really happy with those guys. I just like the change of focus to the other characters besides just John and Serafina. So season 2 has been good. I just wish Uru-chan would hurry up with this whole John regressing farther and farther ordeal. I think it's getting a little stale.
All right. Okay, so we're going to get to the most controversial person in the series. We already talked about him a little, John. How y'all feel about John? His actions in season 2?
He should have slapped Serafina.
Nah, he would never. He would have been unforgivable. I would never forgive him.
A couple of people in this call was waiting on John to like pull up.
Uru-chan, she know better. That would have been unforgivable. He did that.
It would have been a wrap for John, for real. I'd say kill him now, just like right now. Just kill him. I don't need him anymore.
Kill him.
Yes.
Yeah, that man, he's a high school. He's a high school student, man.
Man, kill that nigga. You saw what he did to Zeke. He should die.
Zeke, what did he do to him?
I mean, Zeke deserved it. Zeke deserved it. Don't get me wrong, but John be beating the shit out of niggas, bro.
Man, everything John did so far in the story has all been justified.
Exactly.
It's justified.
He didn't need to beat Remy like that. He didn't need to beat Remy like that.
He needed
No, he needed to.
He did not need to beat Remy like that, man.
All the royals needed to get beat like that.
No, Remy was the only good one. I don't want to hear that. And Blake, too. Blake didn't get beat like that either.
Yo, Blake, he said, I can only do 2. And then John did, 8 of them at the same time? He shut him up. He would have made him put on a training montage for Blake. He needed that. All of them needed that. Remy, I see y'all because y'all think she's so nice. That's a whole fraud persona. She's actually a terrible person. She's actually terrible. Y'all just don't understand.
She is.
Just explain.
From personal experiences, JD knows about that, man. When you're talking about in the simp stream. The so nice chick, man, in high school, they just not true. Not true to themselves.
Okay, but it's just a manga, bro. This ain't real life.
This is real life, man. This is real life. And I don't trust Remy. I'm gonna just say that now.
She watched niggas get beat to a pulp and just kept walking and said, I don't see nothing.
Yeah.
I don't see the best Stevie Wonder impression. I was like, all right, really.
Everybody around her was doing it, though. You can't fault her for that.
No, everybody else was participating. She was just acting like she didn't see it.
Nah, not
I just
everybody.
want one example, Rex, of her looking at someone getting beat and her ignoring it.
Shout out to
Well,
184. I'm just saying.
I'm about to go peep.
Hold on now.
Nah, nigga, Satsuki, I got you. Let's go peep. I don't even think there's a 184 out here. You lying snake.
Hey, man. Don't double check me, man. I'm going off the dome. No.
obviously, she did it for the last some years in high school.
Well, no,
So-
probably last year her brother was a senior, right? And he shut all that down, right?
Last year,
No,
nah.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. So,
Well, go ahead.
I would say so. All last year, that's when the beatings start happening to the low tiers, and she didn't do anything about it.
That's what she do, man. She trash.
I would.
That's not what I said though. I said when did she see it happen and she ignored it?
It was off screen. Uru-chan
It
doing her best
was
older
on
impression.
screen.
So we didn't see it.
She doing her
All
best older
right.
impression.
Just because there's no evidence doesn't mean there's no evidence. Satsuki.
She didn't see it, and we didn't see it either. Huh?
The evidence of absence doesn't mean the absence of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even implied though. That's what I'm trying to
She
get y'all to
saw it.
understand.
Key, John did imply it, so that's what was interesting because when John was checking her, I was really confused. I'm like, Remy, you've been around this school, you're a royal, so I know what Arlo does. I know what you see, what everyone does. You didn't see one of these niggas not getting their ass beat in the hallway.
That's what I'm saying.
It just doesn't. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, that's true. Because niggas was getting their ass beat all over Wilson.
Getting bodied, like yo, think about John. John just be vibing, and then he just bodying this dude for no reason.
And you
So
so
it's
in the whole year, Remy ain't never see that. When the first chapter, Blake and what's the old dude name? Eason? When
Eisen.
fighting over Eisen, when they was fighting over like a pencil. And she tell me she ain't never seen none of that going on, bro. All right.
Those are best friends. She had to see that.
Yeah, she was grappling with Black over some cake.
Yeah, that was
and
the
the first
prologue.
chapter.
Yep.
I think it's more so it was so normal that she didn't take it as serious, or she didn't understand the seriousness of what really was going on.
And you know who did see it and understood it? John. And what he do?
Mm-hmm.
Shut that down.
He shut that shit down.
Wait. What did he shut down?
What are you talking about?
He shut down the Royals.
Mm-hmm.
And he made the entire
school. Wait. So wait, I'm not understanding it. Wait, the Royals are the reason why the school is in disarray?
Yeah.
Well, they kind of have a big part in the reason. Yeah.
Because Remy's brother was doing it before and it wasn't having all these problems.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but he just put a Band-Aid on the problem.
Yeah, but at least it was a Band-Aid. Remy was just like, whatever, let the wound bleed.
Why are you putting this all on Remy, my nigga?
That's what I'm trying to say. Remy really is not really an authority. If anything, it should be on Arlo.
Yeah, exactly.
The main reason this happened is because of Arlo. Like,
if we being real, we got to add that to Sarah too. She didn't do anything. Not a damn thing.
But Sarah was changed. Sarah didn't care, bro. She was changed by John.
That's a problem. It's always the most powerful that just don't care.
But it's not her responsibility to change everything.
Arlo did his damn best.
No, bro. The reason why I don't know about the reason why John is even doing this is because Arlo would not stop fucking with him.
Yeah, that's part of the reason too.
If I saw a disabled kid, I may have to mess with him too.
Oh, this nigga Arlo tricked John, befriended him, set him up, and got him jumped and his ass whooped.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta jump people,
man. Fuck out of here.
You could have 1v1 him.
Sometimes you gotta put your hands on somebody, you know.
Arlo said I could do this all day.
He really got some fodder and said you'll beat him up.
People are mad at John, but I don't really blame John. Like, only thing that would have made me hate John is he would have hit Serafina, which he didn't do. But I feel like everything John has done, even though I feel like he does go overboard, is justified, bro. Because if you see everybody when they fucking with John, what they doing? They being a complete asshole. They not stopping. They won't stop. But then when John flips that switch, now it's, oh, please stop. No, you're going too far. But y'all ain't got that same energy when they doing the same exact shit just a minute prior. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to show you niggas better than I can tell y'all. And me just I'm gonna have to go overboard for y'all to even get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he do. And I don't blame him. I feel like he needs to, at some point he needs to stop. But I feel like everything that's happening, everybody deserves what they get. Even Remy. Everybody deserves their ass.
Here's what Uru-chan did good with John and making him a controversial character, and this is why different people feel uh polarizing opinions about him. Like for example, like him does not like John. I don't really like John like that. A lot of people love John, but I think the reason why people have different opinions about him is like how he goes about it, like what you talked about, Dustin. What's been going on with like how he handles situations is usually him reacting to something. He never usually initiates the violence. The only time I can say like the only thing that I say that he's not justified in is of course with the Sarah stuff. And I also think with the Cecile stuff because she hasn't really done anything directly to him. And
So she had life fucked up. She thought, "You're not gonna beat me as bad, bitch." Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And then he smiled too. That's the thing. And he was
Like, come
smiling.
come on, Cecile. What you thought this was? You thought we was friends?
Yeah, I was sad about that because you know Cecile my baby. Cecile's my baby, and she 18, so I won't hear nothing from y'all. But
Do you, man? Do you?
Cecile really thought it was like, yo, now we cool. What we about to do, boss? And he just bodied her.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. Like what? She's doing everything you want.
I can't just let you go off easy.
But see, the problem people be having with John is that they try to punk John, and then John just don't be a bitch, and then they don't like it.
Okay. I do have a problem with Uru-chan with John. It has to get to a point where these low tiers and mid tiers have to stop fucking with John. How is it that John doesn't have a reputation for himself of beating these niggas up?
Yeah.
At some point they gotta understand, okay, this nigga can beat mid tiers. He may be a cripple, quote unquote, but he's actually whooping a lot of our asses. Like word has to get around. There's no way everybody is trying John like this. And I feel like Uru-chan is doing that for the sake of like painting John in some light and having certain situations go down. Like what happened with 179 with the random green haired dude trying to fuck with him or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it got to get to a point where people are like, all right, he can actually fight.
Yeah. Let's not mess with John.
What did that dude do? He was like, "Oh, John, what's up, bro? You couldn't be joking. There's no way possible." And he just kept
touching
touching
his arm around his shoulder and shit.
He's like, "Bro, just stop touching me and I'll let you go." Nope. He kept touching John.
Yeah, John be trying to give niggas these chances today.
He do. Like with Zeke, the reason I enjoy Zeke suffering so much, bro, is just because he kept pushing buttons that didn't need to be pushed. Like you got him, he already said sorry, and he just went farther beyond to the point where when John really beat the shit, I'm talking John. I don't think anyone's got their ass whooped more than what happened with Zeke, and maybe that Juniper, little green haired.
Yeah, Judy got whooped.
Oh, beat the shit out of her. I said, God damn, John, stop. And he just didn't stop.
Is that the one that pushed Sarah down the steps?
Yeah, John whooped her ass. Nigga.
She had to get that.
She did. That's the thing. I didn't even feel bad for her, but after like maybe the third kick in the face, I was kind of like, all right, John, you get a little
like simmer down.
Hey, y'all, like calm down, bro.
I was like, one more, please.
Yeah, we said one more. He's like, all right, nigga, come on.
Well, we're gonna talk about possibly one of the best chapters of this year. Period.
Wait, we're gonna get into that. I didn't read Key's donation. Shout out to Key for the $20. He says, "Read Life, the best webtoon out. Also, Rats and My Hero trash."
I didn't I didn't say anything, bro. Like,
yeah, he just attacked you.
I can't even breathe.
That's what I'm trying to do. Hey, Key, we thinking of doing a Let's Shit on Rec stream. We'll keep you updated. What's up, man?
Keep you posted.
Satsuki doesn't hand out links to his server anymore. It's exclusive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got this shit. No, I got this shit cut off like Wano, my nigga. Nobody get in.
The borders are closed.
You got your Discord link in the details, bro? Oh, that's crazy.
Okay. No, Satsuki, I don't know what his reason was for cutting off the invites, but
He said,
bro, you know what the reason is. All y'all kept creating alts. I said, bro, all right, this gotta end, bro. Rex had a Rex had an alt, and he had the alt saying the same shit at the same time. I said, all right, bro, you not even trying to be discreet with it no more.
He gave it with two alts. he's like, where are my slaves? They both came in and said, yes, my lord. That was clean, man. You had to keep them.
No, and then the wave had an alt that was speaking Spanish. I said, all right, man,
Yeah.
I'm done with this shit. That nigga said hola. I said, all right, you banned.
Yeah, get him out of here.
No, he said Quay or something like that. Okay.
Nigga saying the most basic Spanish and you don't like it.
Yeah. You had to get him out of here for that.
Nigga, did you say
yeah, he said Quay. Like, what is K?
come on, dog.
Hey, man, it's all the same. That
Oh,
gibberish. That gibberish.
All right.
But you can go on what you were saying that chapter
No,
or
I'm
that
saying-
episode.
When we had that, when we finally, it's rare for readers to be anticipating a moment for so long in the series, and for that moment to finally come and for it to over deliver. Because that John versus Sarah conversation, we've been waiting for a long, long time.
Very long time.
And she put her fucking foot in that chapter. When this nigga John, when he got to the point where this nigga John was like, it was like your girl went through your phone and she caught you cheating and you trying to tell her she didn't see what she just saw.
Yeah.
You get mad at her for finding out.
I was like, yo, how you gonna get mad at Sarah for calling you out being right, nigga?
Oh, that shit was so perfect, man. And then the end of the chapter with Sarah slapping the shit out of John, I was like,
Oh, I needed that slap. That slap was everything.
When he said, "Did you just hit me?"
Bro, I was so
scared.
hyped for that.
I was like, oh, I said, John, if you put your hands on Sarah, it's a wrap for you, nigga.
Y'all don't understand how hyped I was. I took a screenshot of that. I said, yo, I'm ready for next week. He better punch the shit out of her. I'm waiting on it.
I was ready
Bro,
for it.
when I read that, I scrolled. I was waiting for the next one. I was like, oh, I see it. It's no more.
Man.
She did that perfectly. That was perfect. That might be the best chapter of the year so far.
Hold on, you don't think Blake powering up was chapter of the year?
Oh my god, bro!
Nah.
You gotta stop.
Yeah, you gotta.
Bro,
Yeah,
he know what he's doing. He know what he's doing.
That's how to get around 15, bro.
We can't ask questions in this discussion.
Oh,
You gotta
Bro, it wasn't-
ask sensible questions, real questions.
I hate that.
Oh.
That's an ass pull.
I was pretty hyped seeing it.
Yeah, that was
What-
kind of an ass, but ain't gonna lie.
It wasn't.
One of my questions does concern Blight though, because after that chapter where he goes Kaioken, all that, he came back and he had injuries, right? And then he went to Dr. Darren, and it seems like he healed his injuries to the point where he didn't need Darren's help that much. He was like, oh, you just have a bruise. And then later on, we saw him have a bigger appetite. He was eating a lot. So I'll ask y'all what y'all think is going on with Blight, and I'll tell you what I think.
I think he's just going through like puberty, and like we know that people's power do grow as they get older, and he's training it. So I just think he's naturally just going through a shift in where he's just getting stronger. That's just my
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think like Uru-chan itself, that like this power system and people are trapped when in that power system. It's like and mentally, it's like even with John, like you said, John is whooping these mid-tiers ass, but they can't fathom it because they keep thinking he has no what they call it in a world, no, what's the word they use? Not quirk, but ability. They think he doesn't have no ability. So it's like even though he's fighting back, it's like he's fundamentally he shouldn't be able to beat me. So even though he's beating me, something is wrong. So it's not computing. And I think Blake is starting to realize like he's kind of breaking free from that shackle in his mindset, and that's allowing him to kind of grow his power. They're like, even though they know your ability can grow, they don't expect it to grow at like an exponential rate. Like you're never going to get beyond, if you're already at this level, at this certain age, you're never going to get beyond such and such level. Right. Now he's like, John made him look himself in the mirror. It's kind of like he's looking at things a different way. Now he's trying to see if he can be more than what he is. I just think it was an ass-poor way that she wrote it, though.
Man, Blake don't even go home no more. He don't go to that apartment. Is like cursed. He don't go there.
Got kicked out.
Did he know?
John looked at him. He went into his own dorm, and mind you, this is the dorm that Blight lived in originally, not John. John was the one who moved in. John said, "What are you doing here?"
I said, "Yo, the nerve for this nigga."
That's a golden MC.
Yeah. JD, you want to say something?
That shit.
Oh,
You got a $20 donation too, by the way.
Yeah, you just got.
I got to look at it.
What was I gonna say, man? So, how do you? My question is: one, do you think the authorities are Ember, or do you think they're just in league with Ember? Because
And
I,
league.
I wanna get to that because that's a separate
that's
thing.
that's a
Give me,
separate
give me,
topic.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Well,
fine.
I'll read Solo Warriors real quick. I hate John with a passion. Thank you for the 20. I hate John with a passion because he goes too far and just make the school worse with everyone becoming Joker. And it's shown John was already not right in the head with his backstory even before coming to Wilson. I think
Well,
because that's another topic too I want to get to. I'll get to that because we're getting to the root of what's going on with John. I don't fast pass, so I don't want to
yeah.
go too far with that, but yeah, we get to the root of what's going on with John. But what I think is going on with Blight, I do think that either he's on a cusp of being a high tier or he is already a high tier. And the reason why I believe that is because that healing ability that he seems to have is something that only high tiers or above have. There was a chapter 86 where Sarah got hit by the rock and one of the students says like why isn't she healing herself? And I don't think that's anything that Uru-chan ever said like explicitly like high tiers can have healing or whatever, but we know the high tiers have passive abilities and whatnot. So I think with Blight fighting these people in different districts and whatever, because he's been doing it all screen as well. I think he's become a high tier because before his level was like a 4.3 around that. So he will only need like a point 0.7, which is still a big jump, but I don't think is out of the realm of possibility considering that we know uh being in high school, this is the age where people's power fluctuates. So I think with him fighting other people, his power has got to a point where he is a high tier with the self healing and his appetite and whatever. He doesn't know why it's happening, but I think that's why it's happening.
Yeah, he is eating a lot too. So yeah. But you think self healing is what high tier do? I
Yeah,
thought I thought the whole Sarah thing was that she just reversed the damage with her time manipulation.
that too. But again, I'm thinking about the passive ability thing too. But yeah, she has that ability too, where she like can reverse injuries or whatever.
Yo, high tiers get automatic regen. Lee, I see
I
why
feel
people
like
don't
yeah,
mess with them.
nah, I can see that. I mean, the higher level you are, I feel like overall, like when you're a higher tier, and I think it was highlighted in the last chapter with Remy, where Evie was having trouble like lifting up old boy, the old Joker, the Joker fraud, and
Yeah.
then Remy just scooped him up just like that. So I feel as though the higher tier you are, the more your physical abilities grow. So if that's the case, like Sasuke said, it wouldn't be surprising where your healing ability is also higher the higher tier you go up, like your natural healing ability.
Yeah,
So
so
I
I
can
can
I
see
can
that.
definitely see that.
Yeah, I can see that now.
Uh, okay, so I want to get back to what Solo was saying because towards 179 we had Sarah called Claire. So we're getting to the root of the problem with John, but I want to get you guys' opinions on like why did John enlist in Wellston as as a cripple? Because that was something that Sarah thought of. She was thinking, why didn't he enroll as a mid tier? If he did that, he would have less problems. Why do you think John chose to, do what he did at the start of Wellston?
He was punishing himself. I think that's just a simple like answer. Like he felt like he did so much wrong that he needed to feel like I think he wanted to revert back to you know what, I think he wanted to revert back to he was before he, became a high tier. Like cause he had like he got his powers later than most kids. So I think he wanted to just be that same kid he was before he got his powers, and that was his way of doing it. Like just going in as a cripple like he was in the past. But obviously that didn't work out. So
I think we talked about that before too. I don't know why. He could have just went in as a mid tier and just chilled.
Or went to another school.
Yeah, that's the thing. Going in as a cripple in the most powerful school, I don't know.
Yeah.
He could just be a spy for the authorities.
You think you're op?
I don't. You saw how
That
he got brainwashed for 3 years.
boy is not no op. He hates Kenny. He hates him.
Do you think John getting his powers in middle school was something to do with basically implanting specific? They're not called quirks, are they? Powers? Yeah. Do you think like Ember might have had something to do with John that he just doesn't know about?
Oh, like
There's
experiments?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
maybe.
been a theory of like John's mother, like possibly being Ember. People think John's mom is Vulcan. Which I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I do think it's a possibility of Vulcan being Arlo's auntie, because if you look at that chapter, Arlo's auntie is dressed in all black. She has the same hair color, and obviously she's high tier, or at least she's at least elite tier.
Yeah.
And she works with the authorities, so it's a possibility of that. But I think John is just a late bloomer, like as they said before. But if that is the case, then his mom might come into the story, because his dad is a cripple, so it's kind of weird because it seems like abilities and power levels are genetic. So his power would have to come from somewhere, or Uru-chan would have to explain like how he could just spontaneously have the power.
He's experimented on or some shit.
Well, I think.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Maybe like John's being a late bloomer has to do with his father being a cripple, but the power comes from his mother, like strength wise. So like the reason why it took so long was because half of his, DNA is like crippled DNA. Then the other half is just like one was just waiting to take over the other.
You hear somebody talking?
Handicapped DNA.
You can't hear Rex?
Nah, I was just fucking with him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he trolling.
Hold on. Let me.
Disco been doing that though. He can't play like that.
Yeah, because like
Satsuki.
Oh shit.
Oh,
he responded to my DM, so I think he's coming.
You talked to him, but not you, Satsuki. How you feel?
They said let him in.
I haven't been checking my messages.
Yeah, he said let him in just now.
All right. It's 5 out of 5.
You gotta change. Yeah, you gotta change the call.
I got it. You got it.
Let me read this donation real quick by Solo.
Hurry up, Morgan. Do that shit, Morgan. Hurry up.
Calm down,
Solo
bro.
says, I hope Sarah gets her powers back and fights John later, and I hope she wins. Solo, I'm a Sarah stan. I want that to happen as well. But given the fact that John is this nigga, he knows how to fade. That doesn't look too like
base mode. John is beating Sarah. What you talking about?
Sarah can fight now, but she had to learn from John, so I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
Yo, my bad.
You a hoe.
You good,
niggas.
She good, man.
He ain't good. You a hoe. Why you ain't responding to DMs?
What's going on?
He here, man. He here.
You a hoe, Emmons.
Oh, he told us he got you muted, Dustin. So you might as well just
Clear
stop
the goat.
talking.
Oh, why you got me muted?
He said he don't like you.
That's cat.
Oh, Hammers, before you say anything, we only talking up to chapter 179, so no fast pass.
Ooh, okay.
Wait, can Naya hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think he can. Yeah.
Yeah, he can.
Morgan, you a hoe.
All right, so Seal the GOAT, top 1.
Top 1.
Shout out to King Arlo. Dr. Darren's the best character.
Spitting.
Well, King Arlo is GOAT.
How you feel about Remy?
Trash.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yo,
you
we got another one on our
I
side.
don't dislike her, but I don't like her. Like, she's dead.
What? Remy, the only one that didn't shrivel up to John. She was with the shit. What are we talking about?
Man, she went after the mask. She wasn't trying to fight.
Yeah, man.
She knew she would get her ass beaten. She prepared. She still went out there and fought, nigga.
And still lost. Yep. Say it.
Yeah, like a bomb.
Don't matter.
Arlo tried to jump in. He got beat. Blake tried to jump in. He got beat.
Had grown men trying to talk her down from fighting that nigga. She was ready.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Yeah, she got beat like a grown man, too.
John trash. He losing his mind. Let's go. Waste you.
You missed the whole shit we was talking about, John.
John is so misunderstood, man.
Yeah.
Such a bitch ass.
He's a bitch ass nigga. Yes. Thank you. Just settle
What
that.
did he do to earn that title?
Y'all ain't been through what John been through, so it's easy for y'all to just talk like y'all talk.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't never been have no powers and everybody have powers and you know.
Nigga, who has?
I feel that personally.
What's going on?
I feel that personally, man.
You relate to that nigga?
Yeah, bro.
Y'all ain't never got beat every day at school just because you was different from somebody else.
You know what I'm saying? Did you transfer school to your old school, jumped you, they betrayed you. You go to a new school, they do the same thing.
Yeah, the most popular nigga in the school try to befriend you just to set you up and get jumped.
Yeah, I felt that.
I mean, I get it, but again, my problem is that he had an answer to all of this from the beginning, and then he regressed. And the reason he regressed is because he's too scared to actually do something about it. Just check the nigga, bro. If you're strong enough, just check him and go about your day. But he doesn't seem to have a concept of what it means to actually have power, and it's ridiculous. I blame Keon, obviously, but still.
He been checking niggas. Every time somebody fuck with John, he'll check him.
No, but I'm talking about actually check them. Like, if I'm John, I'm beating the shit out of Arlo. I'm be like, all right, well, I'm good. That's it. Let me vibe. At this point, I'm like, look, nobody mess with me anymore. If I'm John, don't mess with Serafina. Don't mess with me. I'm going to hurt you. And that's it. And that's all it got to be.
But is it wrong for John to be like, hey, I'm going to just do me and stay out the way. And y'all just keep fucking with me.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm not trying to fuck with y'all.
Here's the thing. It's not wrong for him, but I do think it's naive for him to think that he could do what he was doing, acting as a cripple, and not expect him to get his ass whooped. That's why we talked about that. No, he's not doing anything. That's why I say I'm not saying he's wrong for that, but I think it's naive for him to think that he could just sit back in the cut, chill, and nobody's going to mess with him because he's seen that happen in New Boston. So it's that's why we talked about.
What can he do?
He could do what JD talked about. Either you had to adjust to it, or you had to try to change it yourself. Is one or the other.
That's bullshit though, because it's like they forcing you to do some shit you don't want to do.
But here's my thing though. If you already know how the society is, then you know exactly what it takes for it to make it stop. They just need to fear you. But I understand. I was fine with John's revenge path, by the way. But then I got annoyed when he decided to destroy the entire school and make everything worse. And he's doing literally the opposite of what he wanted to accomplish. And he just doesn't seem to be able to see that. And that's what's starting to frustrate me. I understand, get your revenge, check the niggas. He beating up Juniper. She deserved every single inkling of that beatdown. Like every single kick, punch, whatever. I was praising God when I saw it. But afterwards, he started to get a little ridiculous. Where he's saying, I want everyone to suffer now. And I'm just like, you don't realize that what you're doing is you're making everything worse. And everybody's getting their ass beat just the way you were. No one can vibe anymore.
But it's hard when you didn't got backstabbed, betrayed, beat so many times. It's hard for you to go the other way. It's hard.
Oh no, I understand that. I think that's why I said Arlo is the reason this all happened. Like Arlo should understand. What Arlo did to John was the worst thing possible.
Debatable.
He did apologize too, though.
After he got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm sure
I did like when
you get your ass whooped.
Hey, it is what it is.
I mean, he can't apologize any other time.
Boo hoo hoo. John's trash.
I hate him because he just hates John for no reason.
Yeah, blind hate.
You know why he hates John, man.
Why he hates John?
Because he's dirty. That nigga
What the
dirty.
viewers don't know, tell us why you hate him, Hemish.
Bro, this guy's just a walking contradiction. I can't stand him. I never know what's coming out of his mouth. Like, all right, this guy's beefing with Arlo. Go protect Serafina. He's like, why don't you just do it? You're stronger than me. Like, what can I do that you can't do?
That's
what he's whining. Oh, yeah, the fucking dude. Like, I fucking hate him. He's a baby.
He's a bitch ass
nigga.
Crying. Exactly, bro.
Crying. Oh, boo me, woes me. Shut up, man. Fuck.
That man he got his arm broken every day.
Action. I get it. Arlo fucked up, and Arlo knows that, and he admitted it. Right? He's trying to learn, and he learned the hard way. He has beat multiple times. Got to put in check. All right. And John, now he went way further than he needed to go, and what are you gonna do? Boo hoo, it's your fault. Oh, everyone's fault. Fuck society. This is bullshit. And cry. Take accountability now, because now you're the one being stupid because Serafina's getting put in danger because of the atmosphere you're making in the school. You dumb piece of shit. Can't fucking stand
But
it.
that's still not John. That's still not John's fault though, because those people are making the choices.
But he's
It's not. It's not. No, but it's not my fault that y'all was fucking with me and I decided to whoop y'all ass. And now since I'm whooping y'all ass, everybody else decided to be a piece of shit. That's
Well,
not my fault.
so it's not even that. The issue is that he's using it behind the alias of Joker. So it feels like everyone can be the Joker.
But to me, that was beautiful. I always told him this back in the day. That was beautiful for him for that's the best way to destroy the system. Instead of becoming a new face, for you to beat everybody ass and nobody know who is doing it. That was a beautiful way to do it, bro.
So wasn't the purpose of the system was to retaliate at the hierarchy that bullies the weaker, the weaker people. But now all he's doing is
no. John never liked John has always said he never likes the people that don't stand up for themselves. He hates those people that bullies, but he also hates the people that don't defend themselves. He's always said that.
Oh, and that's what he's doing too. You saw them
By the
find
way,
they were finding
I think
Joker
it was
off.
stupid for him to pretend he was a cripple. I think that was dumb.
that was
I don't get why he did that.
When we talked about that, it's more of like we believe that it was a way of him punishing himself because of he doesn't forgive himself for what he did to Claire and the rest of the people that jumped him in New Boston, because obviously it's stupid, but that's the only way to really explain it, because you're going to the strongest school in the district. You're enlisting as a cripple when you already know what happened in New Boston. Like, John knew what was going to happen.
I think it's because of that dude. Remember that dude that disciplined John?
Kenny.
He did something he did something to John that I think it didn't make. I think it made John not. I think it made John was so scared of that dude that he did not want to even give off of anything.
I told you he a spy. I've been saying it.
I don't know about the spy, but I think because like he was like whatever that dude did, it was obvious that he was really shook by whatever that fuck he did, and it's like he don't want to.
Because he just fucking slapped his head on the table and made him relive the trauma of what he did. Do you feel bad now? Like
that was for 2 years too.
That is not how you rehabilitate somebody.
Han said he went in. Satsuki.
That shit was funny as fuck, and he deserved it.
Yo, this hate for John.
I don't know if Satsuki heard me.
You deserve it.
No, okay. Yeah, I like when him and Sweetie, who cares about John, makes Serafina the MC. I'm like, okay, this nigga bugging.
Nobody want to cripple as an MC.
But I like what Yuri has done. Like, she's basically made the MC like the villain of the series. Like, this nigga's legit. Like, he's not. I don't even know if you can call him like the protagonist at this point.
Yeah, he's in that weird light Yagami territory.
Yeah, but it's like even worse. It's like this nigga's like legitimately the enemy of the story.
Yeah, and everybody knows it too. Like, they were trying to figure it out.
I want to talk about that too, because right now we've been focusing on the school and a little bit of the other districts that, Black is doing this vigilante work. Do you guys want to see more from the other factions that we've seen, like Ember, the group that attacked Serafina? What's good, Hans?
Y'all niggas ain't gonna speak. Y'all niggas some hoes.
I was waiting for him to finish. What you talking about?
No.
Yeah, it wasn't done.
Man,
That's a good question.
F Hans.
Okay, at least Morgan being real. At least Morgan.
I don't know who that is. So I ain't got nothing to say.
No, I was just saying, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just saying what up. I was gonna let y'all finish what y'all was saying. You know what I mean? Because I got my opinion. unOrdinary did shit, but I got my opinions on John in particular.
Okay.
Let's go. Wait, hold on.
Oh, somebody mad. I see how these Hans get invited on me and mine.
Good or bad way, Hans?
I sit. I'm mixed
on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he means there's no room in here, Sassi. That's what he means.
So John's mentality, right, is one that I can understand. You know what I mean? Like, on its face, like, the reaction that he has on the way people are treated is, like, in a weird way understandable. You know what I mean? But then when the level of faith to be hitting niggas with is just so extreme that I just can no longer co-sign. Like, the moment that really crystallized it for me was like, everybody caught up, right?
Yeah.
No.
Hold on. No
No.
fast pass. No fast
fast
pass.
pass.
Only up
Okay,
to
yeah, this is
179.
this is well past. This already happened. Okay, so the moment that really crystallized it for me is when like he has a moment with himself where he's sitting there and he say to himself, "Oh, look, like I'm not Joker." Like I think it's something having to do with Serafina, whether I think Serafina thinks that he's Joker and he finds out about it. And then in his mind he goes, "But I'm not the Joker." And in that moment I said, "This nigga crazy." And I can't co-sign, right?
Exactly. I'm with him.
I can't co-sign crazy, bro. Like that shit.
But Hans, you know, we compare this to like when your girl go through your phone, she found out you cheating, and then you be like basically denying everything she just saw. Like that's kind of what that was.
Nah,
Doesn't make it
no,
right, nigga. I understand that example, bro.
No,
to me that's like finding out, like that's like your girl finding out you a serial killer and you being like, nah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
playing. Those bodies in the fridge,
that ain't
was in the
mine.
yard.
John was getting mad at Sarah for finding out the information. He was like, "How dare you believe Arlo?"
What is wrong with you, nigga? Like,
Because all of the enemies, you can
That
believe
chapter
him.
was so beautiful. I was like, bro, I cannot really believe John is really doing this right
That's
now,
what
bro.
I'm
I
saying.
mean, can you believe?
Yo.
What's up,
Like
bro?
I said, what's up, bro? Like I really enjoy like the evolution of Arlo. You know what I mean? Like I used to fucking hate Arlo. You know what I'm saying? I called him Aslo on a regular. But at
Satsuki
some
did
point,
too.
like,
Asshole.
yeah, that nigga was ass. But at some point, like, he started speaking facts. You know what I mean? Like, he was just keeping it, but like it was what to me it was when he said, "Yo, John, like, you fuck essentially. Like, why don't you protect Serafina if you really got a problem with the shit?"
Yeah.
What did I
that
just
was
say?
true. That was true.
That's what I'm saying.
But then John gave her a personal bodyguard though with Cecil. So I mean,
No. This the issue with the Cecile shit. Oh, let me read this real quick by Solo again.
Seal the
He
goat.
said-
Shout out to my goat.
He said, "I hope John loses his powers because of Ember." That I don't think that's gonna happen
that
either.
boy's a hater.
But damn. Oh, this is the problem with John giving Cecile the task of protecting Sarah. If Arlo couldn't do it, why the fuck would you trust her to do it? And Sarah literally told John she's not trustworthy, and that's the person you get her to watch over her. Nigga, what?
Hey man, Naya said she top one, so she gotta be, tough.
But see, the reason why John couldn't protect Sarah is because that he would have to admit that he's a liar, and he can't do that.
My girl just trying to get the newspaper popping.
Yeah.
That's all she's trying to do.
That's all she's trying to do, bro.
She
She's just
got
trying to
fired
find
from there.
Like she done nothing wrong. She just do her job.
Eisen with one newspaper did more than Cecil did out her whole career.
Okay, you can't even blame her though, because Arlo was like, nah, you're not gonna put this out.
He was strict.
Your girl thought she was gonna finesse her way out of an ass whooping. She was wrong about that.
Yo,
I was really upset about that.
That's one of the hardest shit I had ever seen in a manga.
That was the funniest part.
Chapter.
Yo, when he was just like, yo, so who next on your list, John? You. What?
Right.
John a real nigga, man.
No, like that's wild. That's when I knew I was like, yeah, this nigga out of pocket, dude.
Cecile hit him with the yo, John, stop playing.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, like who like nah, for real, who your list for real?
Oh, you thought
And
she's
not even one of the royals. She a former royal. So he just did it for the fuck of it.
He's
like,
always
yeah,
like,
might as well.
beat her, bro.
You gotta destroy the whole system, man. You don't understand.
I mean, but I'm telling you,
From the top to the bottom.
Yep.
From the top to the bottom. He has to bring it all the way down. Now, I do agree that John is kind of being a pussy to where the point to where it's like, dude, just go on and say who you are. No one can beat you at the school. Like, no one can beat John. Like, that's how overpowered he is. Like, nobody can mess with this kid. So it's kind of like, just admit who you are. No one's going to mess with you. No one's going to do anything to you. And go about your day.
So John admitted to who he is. It's like accepting responsibility for his actions. And
It's
he
true.
doesn't want to do that. Not right now. That was like he is wrong. Like he beat up his people. He's a part of the problem. That's why he doesn't want to reveal himself.
When
That
John admits he's wrong, that might be a great. That's gonna be one of the.
But
greatest.
you know
That's
what
gonna
it
be
is?
great.
You know what
I
it is? Like
understand.
he can't talk about what that officer did to him. That's the problem. Like when they took him to that spot and they did all of that interrogation shit, that fucked him up on a deep level.
Yeah,
And until he can open up about that, he will never. He won't stop beating these niggas senseless. To be honest.
Oh man, the way he beat up the other dude though, he took his power and face palmed him into the wall, and he's already unconscious. Then John punches him again.
That's the shit I hate. That right there.
I think
I
John.
mean,
That's my
dude,
MC.
right there.
Dude.
I think John was justified, man. I think it was justified.
I agree.
Nah,
I think John.
Bro was just touching too much.
He said, he said, "Don't touch me," right?
Yeah.
He did do
He
that.
said,
John
"Don't
ain't-
touch me."
John ain't
Anybody
with
in
that
that
moot
school
shit.
that woke up to John, we know they not finna fuck up John, and John know that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so like for him to be double tapping niggas, like now you just an asshole.
He
Like
really
you.
is.
But even there, the fact is that the newspaper just told you John is Joker, right? Why would you go mess with somebody who's suspected to be Joker?
Listen,
That's
we
a fact.
talked about that. That's
Like,
stupid.
why would you mess with them?
That's stupid.
I mean, there
Like,
are always them niggas that see that don't, do not press the button, and they dumbass press the
Yeah,
button. You know
might
what I'm
as well
saying?
F
Like,
it.
that's
Gotta try it.
you just gotta see if that shit true or not.
Hey man, it's a
I'm one
saying.
of those
It's a
niggas.
saying out there. Let sleeping lions lie. Okay, leave it alone.
Yeah, but
He
it
was
probably
like,
just fake news, so he just tried it. Talk to John, talk it out.
What you said?
Like we said
Wait,
earlier.
wait.
Go ahead.
What you said, Rex?
you were saying like how you don't understand how these niggas doing this. Uru-chan is doing this for plot convenience. My whole thing is like we seen how dumb niggas are with this coronavirus. Like you think humans are really that smart? Where they, like,
Yeah,
like it's just dumb though, bro. Like
Facts.
people are literally just dumb. Like you gotta beat it out into them that like don't do this.
Well, that's
It's
the thing.
crazy.
I do think John has been at this school for like 2 years, I believe. So he's been checking people without powers for a long ass time. It gets to the point where I'm like, all right, this nigga, I can't fuck with him. He may be powerless, but he can fade me back. You got to stop at some point.
I think that just happens to be like, oh, he beat these guys, but nigga, guys can't beat me, so I could beat John. It's like
they view him as a cripple still. They can't get off of that.
Yeah, like it's the mental thing. It's like John is in a wheelchair, and like everyone sees he's in a wheelchair, and like let's say John runs over someone's foot and then like punches them in the face. Everyone's like, no, that's not gonna happen to me. That can't happen to me. So in their mind, they just keep doing dumb stuff. It's like
like if you see somebody in a wheelchair whoop somebody's ass not in a wheelchair, you just gonna believe like that's not gonna keep happening. You know? What
okay, that's a one-time thing.
I could believe that if it was an isolated incident and it only happened like once or twice, but this happened multiple times with him.
He was like Muhammad Ali in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm still not gonna believe. I'm like that wheelchair is a handicap. Like, there's no way.
So you gonna be the dumbass that get beat up?
If I see it 10 times in a row, I would still think that nigga's in a wheelchair.
But let's be real. If Mike Tyson become a cripple, I'm still not talking shit to Mike Tyson.
But even there, it's like, okay, this person who's believed to be Joker literally put on a clinic, beat up Eason, beat up Blake, beat up Remy, and beat up Arlo in the same day. And the newspaper is saying this nigga is Joker. Personally, me, I ain't touching the nigga. Like, even if I see him in a wheelchair, if they're saying that's the dude who did it, I'm not touching him.
I ain't even gonna front. Like I would talk a little bit of shit, but I'm just that person.
I would talk, but I wouldn't go over there touching him and putting my arm over his shoulder.
I ain't put my hands on him.
Let me talk to you, John.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like, you gotta walk up and be like, yo, I heard some things about you, bro. What's up?
That's gonna be it. I'm not gonna touch him, especially when nigga says remove your hand and you just keep on doing it. Like, you asking for it at that point.
Well, what's going on? What was this? That dialogue was kind of suspect.
What do you mean?
Never mind. Let's move on.
Shut up.
I'm the only one that caught it, so let's move on.
That's funny.
All right. I wanna go to this topic. If it's in fast shit, you don't got to talk about it. But for anybody
Okay, I
else,
won't, because I have fast pass, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
all right, I want to talk about Terrence because he's a character we've seen from like chapter maybe 1 when he
Who's that? The
fought.
nigga that go
When
invisible?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, that's not fast pass. So
Yeah, that's not fast pass.
Okay,
that's not
okay,
fast
cool.
pass.
So what do y'all think is going on with him? Because we've seen him a couple of times. We've seen him when John fought the Stone Boy Gavin. We've seen him at the mall. Well, presumably we don't know exactly that was him. And we've seen him again at the mall, probably with Remy, Blight, Eisen, and we've seen him run away when his homies was getting touched up, Evie and Roland. So what y'all think is going on with him? Because he's been a suspicious character and he hasn't really been checked yet.
I'll say this. Like, I'm conflicted about that situation, right? Like, I don't think that what happened with Serafina and what happened with them niggas at the mall um is connected in the way that they think, right? Like, I think that, like, obviously he's a problem and he may be connected with Ember in a big way, but I think Serafina's case, like, I think it hits closer to home, right? Like, especially like the tie with her sister and like the clout of her parents. I wouldn't be surprised if that, like since her argument with her parents, the fact that she lost her powers not too long after that, to me is not a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he, like, we should be looking at him when it comes to Serafina in particular.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely see the connection. I just don't know what it is though.
Hold on, didn't they explain that in the chapter? Like the person at the mall wasn't Terrence.
Yeah, but they still
No,
got
They don't
they were-
think it's Terrence because he's too
Yeah.
weak, but there is that drug that make you stronger. So
Oh,
Yeah, that makes you
yeah.
stronger.
Yeah,
It
they
could have
could
been
be or it
amplified.
could not be.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said that his power is projected to be a 2.4, but with the drug enhancement, it boosted by, it's been consistent. It boosted by 50%. So if he were to take it, his ability would be like a 3.6. So
Not bad.
that's in the realm of being an elite tier. And that's what they said that you had to be to extend your ability to someone else
So
because he
what is
made the other
John
guy
and Sarah?
visible.
They got like 7 points something?
Yeah, John is like a
They're
7.
God. They're
They're
God
God
tier.
tier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're beasts. That's why I want Serafina. I want John to get Serafina shit so bad.
Oh man, they both gonna have
I
time
don't think he
manipulation.
can. I don't think it's a physical ability.
Do it gotta be a physical ability?
Yeah, it does.
Well, that's what they guess, but it's most likely that though that John has to see it for him to replicate it.
Oh, he has to. Okay, because you can't
Not-
see what Serafina do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he couldn't copy Junie's ability, and she had like.
Oh, if John can't copy Serafina winning.
Didn't she have
Oh,
like
yeah,
speed
like,
walking or
time-
something?
Time manipulation is like you can't really fuck. with that.
That's
OD.
broken. That's
That's
broken.
OD. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
OD. She got that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, her family,
only if John doesn't already have someone else's powers as well.
Nah, even if he do, she winning.
Yeah, nah, time manipulation too broken for
I
that.
don't know. I don't know.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be close. I think she'll be fucked up, but she's winning.
What's the one ability John keeps stored on him though? Isn't it is it his is it the hardening ability?
he need icing ability and what's his name? The newspaper dude ability. Both of those combined.
Newspaper guy.
Perfect.
Invisibility? Or you talking about somebody else?
Nah, the head of the newspaper. What's his name? The orange hair dude.
Yeah,
Eisen.
Eisen.
That's
Eisen.
Eisen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got tracker? Something like that.
Yeah, and super strength.
Tracker with the lasers over.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's a lot of different groups and whatnot. There's also Remy's sister, Layla, and I think the company she works for was NSG.
Is that Remy's sister? Is that confirmed?
Not Remy, Sarah's
No,
sister.
Serafina's
Yeah,
sister.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I'm waiting for them to get back to that storyline because they set it up and then they just kind of put it aside.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think that shit
was on a day with her.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like, that's why I think that whole shit is funky. Like, she got in that shit with her parents, lose her powers. We found out that her sister ain't been in that shit for mad long. Also got an argument with her parents and now got her own company and shit where they do similar shit. That's not like, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you remember during those chapters, it was all the way back around like chapter 30 something. Darren was on the phone with Layla, but they didn't reveal
Yep.
her face or anything. The time because he was supposed to set up a date with her, but she postponed it, and it was around the time Sarah lost her powers.
Her powers. Yep.
So it may be something going on with that, but it's a
These
lot of
hoes
groups right
going
now with
hard, man.
Ember and all that, but we don't know who belongs to
I
who.
will say with a fast pass that right now I am interested in. I ain't gonna spoil it, but I do want this John shit to wrap up.
It does need to. It needs to
Yeah,
happen.
it does.
Yeah. But I think we're at the point where like it's winding down now. Like we're at the ports that we need to see. I'll say that.
Hold on. Did you have an authorities topic too about them with Ember?
Oh, I've been on mute this whole time. That's crazy.
Hey, yo, do y'all think
I wonder
Wellston?
why you-
Do y'all think Wellston is involved with Ember and the authorities?
Nah, I think they might be.
Oh.
I think they might be hero based. To be honest,
I was about to say, I think Vaughn actually knows. I think Vaughn is
like he not fucking with the authorities if he pees.
at all. Vaughn do not like the
Yeah,
authorities.
yeah, it is true because he actually told you to like piss off when he was trying to.
He
He
told
told
Keon,
them niggas, listen, you could get fucked up, nigga. Like, what's
yeah,
up?
yeah, he said, yo, Keon, look, you either leave or you catching these hands, nigga. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Bond be
I was-
ready to
You know
throw
who the fuck
hands.
you
I was
talking
like,
to,
dude,
nigga?
You
Like,
beat the goofy out of that nigga.
I'm telling you, everybody on Ordinary talk crazy, dude. This shit is wild. I think webtoons superior. All them niggas talk crazy, dude.
That boy's ready to throw hands. I was gonna say I was rereading a Ray's side story, and this may be like an insignificant thing, but during that time the headmaster was actually a headmistress. So during that time, Vaughn wasn't the head of the school. So I'm thinking like Uru-chan could possibly write it to where the head mistress comes back into the story somehow, because I think another character that's going to show up that has showed up is the blue haired dude who was Ray's friend. I think his name was like Cujo or some shit like that. Because there was that one chapter of Blight when he was doing his vigilante work, and you
Right,
just see, like,
and he was, you
see a figure with blue hair.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga him
Just
is that
watching
tweeted
him.
something.
See,
that
that's
I
why
think,
that's what I need, dude. Sorry, go ahead.
That nigga him is that tweeted something I think that Uri-chan need to address because the school is getting too violent, and it's like these niggas have no like what is the school doing? You know what I'm saying? Like what is the school like? These niggas are just kicking each other ass every day, all day.
I think they school work different from other
it's-
schools. Like,
It's honestly just a little bit just messing with my my belief. Like bro, to me now it's getting ridiculous.
Well,
nah,
no,
it kind of
because didn't Vaughn get on John about how far he was going?
he did.
Yeah, he did that, but
he gave him a slap on the wrist.
yeah, they don't try to deter all this violence that's going on.
John is damn near killing niggas, bro.
Nah, but I think
Yeah.
I think like Wellston in particular is the type of school where it's just like
It is
like
what
first
it
of all, like
is.
these are the elites. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make this shit as real to the real world as possible. You know what I'm saying? So the niggas that got the power run the school.
Yo,
and if y'all can't
Who's pulling
maintain
out rubber,
order,
man? Who's pulling out
bro.
rubber? Who's
Somebody
getting
But I'm
ready to bust somebody down?
Wow, that's wild.
But I'm saying, like, if y'all can't maintain order, like, that's on y'all. Y'all don't deserve to be elites. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
The thing with Vaughn talking to John, he didn't even really necessarily care about what John was doing in the school. It was just the fact that it was the elites and high tiers that he was hurting. He was like, "Yo, you send our niggas. Those are my niggas. You can't send them to the hospital." He didn't care about all the other shit with the Joker and all that.
And that's probably because of the turf wars. That's probably why he really cared about it, because Arlo women was the elite team.
I wish we could get back into that
Yeah,
shit.
but
I would
Turf
love
War
to see
died
that.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never went back to that.
I mean, never going back, nigga.
Yeah, we're never going back.
The system destroyed. They ain't got no royals.
Like Tower of God, we never gonna see fishermen and Ray controller battles.
We never getting tested ever again.
Yeah.
We're never getting the test ever again, dude. Oh man.
Nice spoils.
Yeah, no
The anime
spoilers.
stinky.
Hey, my fault you niggas ain't caught up to great series.
Yeah.
Lord.
Hey, no,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm actually watch Tower of God.
How y'all feel about if they did an unordinary anime? Y'all think that would be good?
Oh, they have to do it. They
They
have
have to.
Yeah, they
I
have
feel
to.
like it's a little too slow paced though. Like,
Nah, unOrdinary is one of the biggest webtoons on webtoons. It's getting.
Yeah, it's
It
always
will blow
in the
up.
top 3. It's always in the top 3.
No, it is the
unOrdinary would definitely blow up if they had.
I think there's enough action sprinkled in here and there with John constantly getting jumped and whatnot to keep them kind of engaged. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
And
I feel
the
like
thing
they need
about
to
unOrdinary,
bring
it's
that out more. They're gonna have to stretch those out, to be
the thing
honest.
about unOrdinary, it's to me the interesting about unOrdinary is the characters.
Yeah, the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And when the anime start dub first, since she's in America,
Yep. I'm trying to hear that in English, nigga.
so they not getting a Japanese studio to do it.
Anglais.
Nah, they need to
I'm
get
gonna.
I don't want to hear no
I still-
damn Japanese.
I know this off topic. I still stand by God High School is gonna be the animated here. I still stand.
I don't even watch Tower of God Japanese. I watch it in Korean, like it's supposed to be. Yeah.
How it come out on Crunchyroll in Korean, right?
He's such an elitist, bro.
All you gonna hear is Joker. No. Like, what?
Yo,
Get out of here.
Nah, it's gonna
God,
Yeah,
slap.
no, but God High School is gonna destroy. Like, it's gonna be One Punch Man
That's gonna
season
pop
1
off.
levels
It's gonna
of.
pop off.
Yeah, it's
No
animated
bless.
here.
Noblesse? I don't know, man. I don't know. They already
Nah,
already
nobody's
fucked it
not
up the
gonna do
first
that.
time.
I need them to do a hardcore like pronto. That's what I'm waiting for.
Woo!
Hardcore level?
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
sir.
Monkey Coin
Eat that.
Syndicate,
Yeah.
shout out.
Hold
Yes,
on, I
sir.
missed this by Solo. The main problem for me is John could have just became the king and stopped all the violence, but he chooses not to and makes things
That's
worse
not
and goes too
true.
far.
That's not true. I don't want
Keep in mind, Solo
Nah,
Solo
it
hates John.
It wouldn't be that simple, but it
Yeah,
would
he
help.
does.
But it wouldn't be that simple.
I mean,
That's
John
not-
just
They wouldn't
needs
just
to.
stop it.
John just needs to stop capping. Like, stop acting like you weak. You know what I'm saying? But also, don't be an asshole. Like, you ain't gotta beat up niggas. If you see niggas getting beat up, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the power to do that.
Man,
He
John
gonna be
was
an
an
asshole.
asshole because people have been an asshole to him.
Yeah, but that's.
I mean, it's an endless circle jerk, but at the same time, it's like I understand why John does what he does. I understand that he goes too far sometimes, but the system made him. The system made him what he is right now, so that's not his fault.
Okay, I'll ask
Product
this
of his
then.
environment.
Everybody
What do
lives in
y'all-
the system. Everyone
What do
goes
y'all
through it.
think? What do y'all think has to happen for? We'll just say Wellston, and then you can go like if you want to go in general, like society has to happen for them to get rid of this hierarchy system where everybody's like picking on each other because they're weak. Like what
Powers
do the
have to go-
Royals have to do? What do John have to do?
Power's gotta go completely.
I think
I don't know.
You
I
got
think, like-
you got to EMP powers just globally.
I feel like it's kind of like.
Boom.
Like, I like to think of it as like in the same way like My Hero. Like, how did they go from a world where like now the majority of people have powers to the world that they have today? Like how do you get from that pivot point? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the world of unordinary is at that pivot point where everybody got powers, but like they're not equal in how they view that shit. So I have no idea. Maybe heroes rising up, but I don't know. It might
Yeah.
it really.
I think they need a new enemy that makes them all come together to fight
You
it.
think Ember is the one to do that?
Yeah, I think Ember's the problem, to be honest. Because the fact that the authorities don't go after Ember, and like most of the people like that run society, even the authorities are elite tiers. Like that's a very significant problem.
Yeah, that suspect that they haven't found out who Ember is yet.
Yeah,
I
That's ridiculous.
think the authorities are backing Ember.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Are they under the control of Ember?
They're connected in somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made that clear with the whole Arlo inner monologue he had with himself about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they are not trying to fix the problem at all, and they don't like
Vigilantes.
vigilantes.
Yep.
The way they report it and everything shows that.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah,
some-
I mean, no. To answer the question, I think it's just like the real world. People need to stop being butthurt about everything. Like if someone's stronger than you, then they're stronger. Like deal with it, but don't be a jerk simply because you're like stronger.
Hey,
Yeah.
but when Arlo and all
Again-
them niggas and John link up together, like, and John teach them niggas how to fight, like, all of them finna be dirty.
I just think that there's no way to just like like yes, we can have these solutions, but I just hopefully the way I will unordinary and is that it just never gets fixed. Like it's just like you could change like your community, but the overall global problem just never gets fixed. Maybe they can change wealth. Maybe they can change Wellston a little bit. Maybe they can change this here or there, but it just never it never really gets fixed. It's a sad thing, but it's life, nigga.
This is random, but why don't these low tiers know how to fight?
Nigga,
That's
Why
a
did
fact.
John? Why is John the only one who cracked the code that if I know how to fade, niggas gonna back off me?
Yeah.
Powers or not?
They could take martial arts and they would have powers on top of it.
When you get your ass whooped, it's hard to think you can do anything about it.
One chick got blinding powers, man. She got the power of the sun. She ain't doing nothing.
Bro, stop, easy. she got a fucking a little
flashlight.
tiny keychain flashlight.
But it's still blinding people, man. She can use that. Blind them, they kick them in the stomach. It's over.
You act like she got a solar flare or some shit.
It could level up to that.
I just think they're conditioned, like if everyone would start getting training when they was young, maybe, but like if you was like from like age of like 6 getting beat down by niggas struggling you your whole like bro, you accept it. Like it's a part of life.
I mean,
niggas is getting their ass whooped like every day. You know what I mean? Like
Every day.
Even Sarah learned how to fight.
Yeah.
She said she was doing martial arts. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about before John.
Oh yeah, she learned a little.
She was fighting and learning, but later on they told her to focus more on her ability, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's not really a huge issue for me. It's that I feel like John, like all he learned how to do really. I know he has his powers on top of him knowing how to fight, but still, somebody has to
fight because he was a cripple.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have that though.
I'm saying if you got like a weak ass power, you basically a cripple too. Like Evie and I don't even know what Roland's power is, but they basically cripples too because that power is not helping you fight.
How about they fucking train and stop being bitch ass niggas?
I mean, everybody doesn't want to fight on it.
You ever consider that? It's not about fight. Just defend yourself.
Yeah, they gotta learn how to fight.
But see, John do that, and you hate him.
Yeah.
No, that's not why I hate him.
That is why you hate. That's where it started.
No,
too
far.
Huh? Why? How do you go too far when niggas is trying to bitch you every day and you try to stay out the way until it's finally, all right, bitch ass niggas, I'm finna let y'all know that y'all not fucking.
Talk about now because Sarah's in danger. He's completely lost sight of what the main goal was even about. That's what I was talking about. Because now Sarah's getting beaten for no reason.
But you never lied. You ever lied.
And he straight up lied to her.
You ever lied to a girl so much that if you told her the truth at this point, it would do more harm than good?
No.
Yes.
No, I don't lie.
What?
Everybody a saint nowadays.
I never lied to that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? I lie about dumb shit like I love you. But like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing crazy.
I was not expecting him to say that. He can't.
No, him is a saint, man. Don't play.
I would say him is a virgin.
Exactly.
Hold on, wait.
Waiting for marriage.
What? He lied to Sarah? Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
He lied to Sarah about a bunch of shit.
Man, sometimes lying is the only way to get.
Only thing he told her that was true was his first name.
Facts.
That may not be real.
Yeah, we don't even know that's confirmed or not. John Doe. They get that that's a fake name.
So how the hell do I get out of? Oh my god! Kill that nigga Ace.
We got any more topics? Anybody want to say something about the season 2?
Read Bone Collection. Read Bone Collection.
I mean, like if you co-sign John, you a psychopath. In my opinion.
I understand John.
I understand him, but he tripping.
Nah, he definitely tripping, but like it's not his like niggas gave him reason to trip though.
Yeah, but like at this point, like he do it like he added into it now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now niggas are sympathetic for the other side, and that's a good, like, you know what I mean? That's when you have all the sympathy at first, and you wild out so much that everybody got to tell you to chill. Like, that's not a good look.
Do you think it would be better if John, like after he beat up all the Royals, he revealed his face?
There it is.
You think that would be better?
Yeah, because he, you know what I'm saying? He did what he wanted to do, and that was it.
I mean, true.
And nobody
I
would
do think
attack me in
that-
season 2.
Yeah, I think that aspect would have been better, but there would still been problems with the school.
He wasn't gonna do
Everybody
that.
would've
He wasn't
just
gonna do
saw-
that because he did about Sarah though. So he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is trash.
Yeah, he basically doesn't want what happened to Claire to happen with Sarah, and he doesn't know how to deal with
Oh
it.
yeah, he did
Sarah-
yell out. He said,
Sarah-
"Just listen to me,
Serafina,
Claire."
honestly, she was trying to understand.
when
him.
he
She was
when he
trying.
called her Claire, I died
Yeah.
laughing.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's the Claire effect.
He hit her
Yeah,
with the
I'm
fuck
like-
you, Claire.
He saw her
That
That
face.
nigga was silent.
Yeah, like this nigga. When he said clear, I'm like, this nigga is really lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
why
when you
y'all
get
do
beat
this?
over and over and over again, things happen like that.
Over and over again.
John, you monster.
And then Sarah want to learn everything about Claire. Now she want to meet up with her. Like, no,
Yeah.
leave that in the past.
That's what
What
girls
you
are.
mean lead that in the past? That's the only thing that's gonna save him. What the
That's the only thing that's gonna stop John.
If you bring Claire to John, he gon' nah. You think they gonna talk it out?
You gonna kick the snap crack
I
on
don't
the top,
know.
no.
Oh, damn.
Nah,
That's the
She
rule.
better,
That's
she
it.
better not do that. She not
that's
stupid
good.
enough to bring that bitch to
you can't be
John.
that. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't bring her to the school. That's just gonna.
She's gonna
That-
have a
that's
vision.
rule.
She's gonna have a
That's
vision
the
of her
root
at the
of the problem.
school, and that's how she's gonna be at the school.
That is PTSD personified. So if you
Yeah.
bring her to the school, like no.
Like, John will crack.
He already correct.
Yeah, crack
Oh,
even
yeah.
more.
I think he'll shatter. Like, to be honest,
Exactly.
he'll shatter. Yeah.
Well, shit. Sometimes you gotta hit rock bottom to get back up.
True.
Because he's not going to get better. If Sarah couldn't help him, he's not getting better.
He's not gonna get better until
Do you think
he
his dad?
talks
Do you think his
about-
dad could help him?
What if he's
I
the best
thought
he
he
can
could,
be?
but now I don't think so.
Nah,
his
his dad can
dad-
help him.
His dad already peeped that he, you know what I mean? Like, he told him, yo, you doing the exact same shit you did with the other bitch. And he was like, fuck you, dad. You know what I'm saying? So he not listening.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to what happened. It's gonna come down to what happened with the authorities. I think that's what made John crack is the authorities. Whatever they did to him. Because when he saw that dude, that's when he started tripping out again.
That's
he
when the
deserved it.
shakes started happening and all that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's when it started happening.
Shout
So
out to Kia. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
when
fuck it.
Keon showed up,
Top
That's what's
five.
up.
Top five.
instead of Donovan, it's Keon now.
Keanu, for real though. The other girl came in there, was questioning Serafina, and she was up there laughing at her. She's like, man, I got over that shit so easy. And then he came in that shit, he was asking all the right questions. Got all the info he needed from her.
Hold on, what you talking about? Oh,
Keanu. When they were interrogating Sarah.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they had
First
that one
time she got
bitch.
suspended.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the one green chick because she could tell if you lying or not. But Sarah was basically, she was telling the
Finding
truth, but she
loopholes.
wasn't. Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, it's another webtoon y'all should read. It got only one season, 50 chapters. It's called what the fuck is all that?
Sorry, I'm outside.
Happy
Oh,
Mother's
okay.
Day.
It's called Happy Mother's Day. It's called Purple Hyacinth. That shit is really good. Check that out.
Purple what?
Hyacinth or something like that. It's really good though.
The best web.
Or Hyacinth or something.
The best
I'm gonna be
webtoon
saying it completely wrong.
is hard.
Don't say hard, no, bro. I get that shit
The
5
best
chapters. and
webtoon
dropped
is
it.
Hardcore Leveling Warrior.
I gave that shit
Absolutely.
5 chapters and dropped it. 5 chapters. and dropped
Hardcore?
it. Yeah, I dropped that shit to 5.
Oh,
chapters.
you capping.
I'm not. I did.
he capped and he dropped it.
Capping. Like,
Told you we need to
it's-
let
it's-
Cap
it's-
die, man. That
Jordan
word
kept
die.
saying, Jordan kept saying, it's the best thing ever, bro.
Yeah,
It was
Jordan
the best thing
sees
ever,
too
bro.
much with it.
Jordan overhyped.
Nah, but Jordan spitting facts. He spit, and I put Jordan on that.
Oh, so Jordan,
Listen, listen. It starts slow in the same way Tower of God starts slow. Well,
I was
once
on
it
Tower
starts,
of God chapter 1 though, bro.
no, you wasn't. You lying.
Yes, I
dude.
was. No, how am
Get
I
the fuck out of here. Are
It's
you
no
serious,
way.
fool?
Cap.
It's no way you like Chapter 1.
lying? Bro, I love
Chapter
I
1.
love
You
Tower of
ain't
God.
you
Yes,
ain't
I
no,
did.
you ain't no shit from chapter 1. What was you fucking with?
I'm fucking with how Bam and Rachel and how it was this whole mysterious.
Oh,
girl.
get
That was
bro.
everything, bro.
And you was like,
Wasn't the first test in chapter 1?
The first chapter
Yeah.
go crazy.
It
Don't
start
fuck
it
what they
start
talk about,
off
Dustin.
with the first test, yeah, but like
Yeah, that whole
Dustin,
shit.
fuck, Dustin, fuck what they talk about. First
Yeah,
chapter
that shit
go
was hard.
crazy.
Yeah, that shit was hard. I was fucking with that. Chapter 1,
listen,
I
I wasn't fucking with Tower of God is a Tower of God until you meet Big VO Grace. You understand what I'm saying? Like
I don't
Nah,
know.
you
Oh
bugging.
nah,
What?
that's when it go
Until you
downhill.
meet-
That's when it go
until you meet
downhill. What
VO
you talking about?
Until you meet VO Grace. Now we not spoiling. You don't know who that is. Until you meet
I'm about
VO
to say,
Grace,
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It don't start. You understand me?
Mm-mm.
No, Hans,
I don't.
bro.
Wait. Do not spoil Tower of God.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm not.
only on episode 21
The
in
first-
the manga, so
The
All
first
right.
season
Nah,
of
don't worry.
the first season of Tower of God is fire. I don't know what Hans is talking about.
It's all set up. All of it.
It's all fire.
I don't know about
it's alright.
fire,
It's
It's
but
alright.
yeah.
Fire.
Bro, it's
What?
alright.
The best
Bro.
part of the first season is the crown game, and the crown game not even lit. Like, yeah.
I'm done talking. I'm done talking.
It's not even lit.
The last examination go crazy.
I'm
It's
done talking.
alright.
A little bit though, but it's like you talk about the tip of the iceberg, like the tip. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even.
He about to make me spoil, bro.
Hansung Yu examination go crazy.
The first 20 chapters of season 2 was like mid, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Low mid.
What?
Man,
Really?
even then,
So-
even all the way till they get to the hell train, that's when it picks up.
You said what he said.
So y'all don't fuck with VO Grace. That's what y'all telling me.
Nope.
That's all right.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
I don't
Season
fuck-
two.
That's the
I
biggest
didn't-
cap.
I
I
didn't-
know you're captain.
I'm not.
I didn't fuck with the obvious dick tease. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't fuck with the obvious dick tease.
Okay.
I mean,
that makes
to
sense.
be
That
honest,
makes sense.
maybe I'm stupid, but like I was genuinely confused for like 5 chapters.
What?
It happens, man. It happens.
See that nigga once. I say, "Yep, I know what's
I
going down."
I said, wait a minute. I said, did he just pull a Hunter x Hunter? Like, you know what I mean? Like I really thought like we were done. And that was it.
Let's stop before we spoil.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
You
I'm
didn't
about to
think
say y'all
that.
getting crazy.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just saying, like, so I really once I realized it, like I was all about it. All about it.
It's alright.
The beginning of season 2, I'm like, it's okay. That's
It's
it.
Like I promise you, when they animate season 2, it's over.
Nah.
Both of you to assume we're getting a season 2.
I would have.
It's mid-ass anime.
No.
Yo, why you hating, dude? What the fuck?
It's mid-ass anime.
Because Naya is looking at it from a tilted perspective. If we're talking about the casuals and all that, everybody loves like Tower of God is amazing to everybody else. So it's getting season 2.
They don't even know what's going on.
I don't know about amazing.
I mean, they're skipping shit. That's why they don't know what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
And they're adding shit up that doesn't happen.
So would you?
But they're getting the point though. Like they understand it's not to the level that we do.
So my question is like, would you compare it to how they ruined the Tokyo Ghoul anime? Even though a lot of people like the Tokyo Ghoul anime.
I don't watch Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, I don't know the manga compared to it.
If you
I read it, but I never watched it.
So the anime, I watched the anime first, then I read it. I thought the anime was really good.
I think the anime's fantastic. I never read it, but the anime's fantastic.
He got to stop talking to the anime budget. The anime budget of Tower of God is not low. He got to stop saying that.
I think people have been hyping over this fucking like the animation choice, and like I don't mind it because I know that animation choice will change.
Yeah, it reflects the first season like that. It wasn't a budget thing; it was a choice thing. It was a creative choice.
Yeah,
thing.
It's like, do you get mad at the way Mob Psycho looked? No.
Mob Psycho looks great.
Yeah, Mob Psycho look great.
But Mob Psycho looks like the manga though.
Nah, it looks way better than the manga. The manga.
No, it's true to form, dude. It's true to form.
Nah,
it
just threw color on it.
It emulates one style, but it's cleaner though. It's cleaner, a little cleaner.
Yeah. That shit is unreadable, and the web comic is unreadable, bro.
Man, they just slapped some color on that motherfucker and said, "Here you go, dude."
TOG do not
And
look like TOG like retro anime style. Like this shit looks. I like it now.
I like it. I don't think it's that bad, and it's like it's not gonna stay stagnant. We know that. Like, well, I don't see why
I don't mind the character models. I don't like it when they're moving. They don't look right to me.
What?
And the action not raw.
No, this back
you don't like. I mean, the fight scenes are a little underwhelming. I'll give you that.
Tower God is ass, bro.
That shit is underwhelming in general.
We don't listen to
like how they did that Shinsu shit. Like, did you think Shinsu was gonna be like that? To be honest,
I didn't think they were gonna take it literally.
Literally, yeah.
Because it means divine water, but
like when I saw that they really made it like liquid, like that's wild.
But they fucked up because Lororo's a Jansula, and they showed that in the chapter when they made the barrier. You can see the electricity in the barrier when they're trying to get through it, and they didn't do that. It's just water, like bro, garbage.
Oh yeah, I did see that in the webtoon.
I think I don't know because I was talking to Satsuki about this yesterday. It was like I don't remember the details of Tower God, so this is not bothering me. Like, cause I don't know the details that I'm missing. I just like everything that I know that I remember from early on. They're bringing up. So to me, this season has been like I've been enjoying every episode.
They do a lot of little shit, like like in the first episode, like there's a lot of shit that happens with Yuri and Evan that they don't show. You know what I'm saying? Like Yuri watching Bam do all of this shit and about to
like she was excited to see in a regular, so they're actually running towards Heidan's floor.
Yeah, they didn't show that.
They didn't even talk about the irregular shit, did they?
Not in the first chapter. They only brought up Iraq, like I think it was episode 4 or something like that.
But it's their fault kind of because Tower God should have never been a 13 episode season or 12 episode season.
They should have made it ongoing, to be honest.
Nah, I don't think it should have did that, but I think it should have been 25 episodes at least.
Yeah, 24, 25.
At least, yeah.
It's all right, bro. I don't see the.
I've already given up. God High School gonna slap though.
Huh? You say what?
I already given up. I already given up, but God High School will slap.
Yeah, all they gotta do is do the fights correctly, which is like they are, and that's all.
They'll do the fights correctly. Yeah. And that first season of God High School is gas. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah,
it's when they start doing all that extra shit that made God High School trash.
I tell you, when you get a shot at 250, that's when you stop.
Yeah, that's.
You don't need to keep
It pretty much lost me after they fought the green hair guy with who take a building.
Listen, once they started throwing planets, I said, "What the fuck?"
All right, well, give me some time with God High School. Let me
Yeah,
okay.
we just want everything.
Oh, you haven't read that either.
Oh, you uncultured Baham motherfuckers.
Yo, Naya, come on, dog.
All right, we pretty much done with this unordinary shit. We've been done for like 20 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Okay,
they trying to hear us talk about the anime season.
Shout out King Arlo. Dr. Darren is the best character. All right, guys, have a good day. Dr. Darren. Dr. Darren.
Arlo top one.
Arlo.
That's Arlo go to. Shout out
Sarah also top one.
Arlo is
Sarah.
Yeah, because he a bully.
Yeah, Arlo is Naya. That's why he like him so much.
I'm Dr. Darren and Arlo in one character.
Dr. Darren got all the bitches though.
I'm not going front. I mean, Darren getting Seraphina's sister. Oh, that's a W, nigga.
Yes, sir.
Seraphina's sister is.
Hit it from the back. Hit the rewind. Hit it from the back.
Hey. What?
Doesn't that whole family have time powers? You can rewind it, yo. What you say?
If y'all peep him his Twitter like late night, he be tweeting some of the most trashiest lyrics of all time for whatever you be listening to. Like I'm trying to think of the recent one. I'm gonna go find it.
You got.
The only thing I tweeted recently was Drake. So you call it Drake trash? Okay.
About that one.
Yo, Dustin, did you peep the new Promised Neverland yet?
Yeah, it was trash.
Cap.
It was trash, but I like
it. I'm reading it now. I haven't finished it yet, but
I like what they. Oh, I ain't gonna spoil you then.
Yeah, I'm gonna peep.
This nigga Naya keep changing his fucking ad.
Naya change everything every 4 seconds, bro.
Wait, what did I do?
Yeah, Saint changed
You
his.
changed your ad. Yeah, I was trying to find you, and I was like, "What is this nigga name after?" Because I tried to do Naya, that didn't work. Then I tried to do
Yeah.
the Lolita shit, that didn't work.
Yeah.
I was like, "What
Yeah,
the fuck?"
paperwork.
I had to legit go to my DMs to find this nigga. Streets of Hymns. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
paperwork.
Saint
Tell
changed
him-
his ad, and Satsuki called a
Look,
dude a
look, this
fuckboy.
is last. This is last.
All
tweet.
right, you had to get that off.
Yeah,
This is Naya last tweet. Tell a bit my heart been broke, but my dick still works.
I mean,
Like, nigga, who are you listening to? That's not Drake. That's not Drake.
Okay, everything before that was Drake.
Nah, everything before that. Nah, okay.
all right. Y'all got any final thoughts about unordinary though? Predictions, anything like
John's a
that?
pussy.
no spoils.
Oh my god.
I could predict something.
I
And
can't predict.
Oh, a fake prediction.
Yeah.
fake prediction. I can do a fake prediction. They'd be like, "Oh, I was right." You know, we better.
I'm not gonna lie. If I fast pass, I would do that. I ain't gonna lie.
All I gotta say, man, please read Bone Collection.
Oh
I
my
feel like it's gonna be the
God.
next biggest.
not.
Rex Tio is gonna be the next biggest series out there. If they depending on where they go these next 10 chapters.
It's not. I'm
Telling
reading.
He is lying to you.
I'm
It's
not.
not. It's
I'm
not.
not. It has all the ingredients
It
to be the
doesn't.
next big series. It do.
He is lying. Oh my god.
God, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's not that
It
good.
does.
It's mid. It's not. It's going to
It's
be
not
like
mid. It's not
15
mid.
chapters.
No, it's not. It's
Oh,
not.
no?
It has the potential with the
It doesn't.
potential of the world, potential of the
It
characters,
doesn't.
the
It
fight.
doesn't.
It does. All right, we're
Solo.
gonna revisit this.
Hold up. Solo said, "What? Just because got a high school characters get stronger does not make it bad. I still love got a high school."
Yeah, you do have people say that.
my.
You do have people say that.
I mean, good for
Yo.
you, but we don't. Okay, have a nice day.
Well, I'm not caught up.
Yeah,
so.
Dustin, you right. This shit is ass. This shit is ass, nigga. This shit
Oh,
is
you
Tupac ass.
read?
Oh my
You read it?
god, you gotta be shitting me, bro. Oh my lord, yo.
Hey, man.
I told you.
At least the Promised Neverland had that one classic arc. That's I'll give it to it.
Oh
Bro,
my.
I still gotta
I
catch
don't know
up.
why I just dropped that shit, dude. Like it just wasn't doing it for me no more, bro.
It got pretty good near the end. Like we got some good stuff, but
It's
this
done?
last chapter, bro.
Bro, when it got to the point where it got worse to me to read in One Piece week to week, I was like, bro, this is disgraceful.
He said I can't do this.
He had to throw that in there.
Yeah,
He had to. Always gotta throw shit in One Piece, bro.
Can't
That's
live
it.
without it.
I got a shit on One Piece. Oh, I can live without it.
He's just like me and Black
Nah, I don't
Clover,
think
bro.
so.
I'll just be slandering Black Clover to slander at this point.
Yeah, Black Clover got ass. I still ain't forget if they fake out on Julian's death. That shit still pissed me off.
What you mean? It was foreshadowed. What you talking
It was
about?
foreshadowed, man.
Oh, yeah,
No.
Now we gotta go. Now we
Man, I
gotta go.
told
gotta
Dustin
leave.
I told Dustin when Julius first quote unquote died. I told him I didn't believe it because his literal powers are time. I sat right there, I didn't believe it.
How you gonna kill a man with time?
When a nigga
Exactly.
when a nigga sitting there on the ground telling you, "Hey, this is it for me. I'm done," and then he's like, "Oh no, I was just fucking around." I got it.
Hey, that's in character. That's in character. That's how he acts.
Oh no.
He was
On my,
trolling.
yeah, on my deathbed, I'm gonna joke around. That's
So we just
him.
insult. So you found with the author insulting your intelligence? Then is that?
Yeah, I'm cool
And
with
then
it.
it's all mine because I accepted it. Like,
I ain't gonna be joking around when I drop this damn series. I ain't gonna be joking around to do that.
He's like getting enough money from you.
You ain't built like that.
He ain't gonna give a
She's
fuck.
not getting enough money from you.
I just read the Promise.
Did you
Neverland.
She's not getting money from you anyway. It doesn't matter if you drop it or not.
You just read that chapter, bro?
I scammed through it. It's just
That
Man,
ending,
say,
bro. I
bro.
said, "Oh nah, you ain't gonna do all that." I said, "Okay." I was done. I
so
was like, "Yeah."
hard.
The Kimetsu no Yaiba chapter was ass too.
Yeah.
Kimetsu no Yaiba's ass in general, nigga. Why are you surprised?
Hold on, that was the last chapter.
wow.
Yo,
You need to calm down.
I
Hey,
always admit
Sasuke,
this.
Sasuke, this is
I always admit this.
Sasuke,
I had
this is after screen
the series was
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I told Morgan to end it.
The
Oh.
series was whatever to me.
Nah, the
but
people need to hear this.
as soon as she confirmed the swords were not doing fucking elements,
I knew that though.
No, but I had an inkling, but once she confirmed it, I'm like, yo, nah, this is not
Confirm
it.
what? Confirm
And
what?
I haven't read it since.
It has never been peeped since.
The red light district arc was great though. I don't let y'all taking it away.
Man, that arc was mid. I read it. It was mid. That was I see. This is what make me upset. Like niggas will be slandering One Piece, bro. But when you read Demon Slayer, you will talk about surface level, basic ass shit, bro. That's what Demon Slayer is.
Hey, Wano big mid though.
Wano's mid, don't get me wrong, but they not Demon Slayer is not breaking any standards whatsoever.
Red District slander.
But the reason why Demon Slayer blew up was the anime. That's why.
We know that. We know that.
I mean, and you know the thing is, Demon Slayer is gonna get popular, increasingly popular by the season because even when they get ass, all them fights are gonna look so clean.
Exactly.
That Akaza fight gonna look crispy, but that train movie gonna be hot. I'm telling you, that's the worst arc I've ever read.
The
train arc was
the worst arc you ever read.
The worst arc you ever read.
Yo, literally, the only good part about that train arc was literally after they got off the fucking train.
You read Davey back arc, right?
Wow.
Man, nigga, you kidding me, bro? I want to hear that.
I will give the David back art.
Luffy was the Ross.
It was funny.
So Dustin, you okay with Tanjiro being so pure that they decided, you know what, I can't kill this nigga. He's too pure. You cool with that explanation, bro? You fine with that?
I mean, all the plot armor that Luffy has.
Yeah, but it's not about being pure. Luffy just be fighting niggas. At least it's
running.
Listen, bro.
Answer the question. Are you cool with it?
Am I cool with what?
No, Dustin. I'm asking Dustin.
Oh. No, you asking JD.
No, don't run from Look at you double running.
Why did you answer? Like what?
It's okay, man.
Nah, but are you okay with it? Are you okay with that explanation? Or why Tanjiro survived that specific ordeal on the train? Are you cool with that?
I mean, Tanjiro is pretty fucking pure.
My nigga, but that's so lame. Tanjiro has no substance. He's a basic ass nigga, bro.
But that's the charm.
Wait,
that's
you be
not
seeing
though.
You be seeing the memes on Twitter. Tanjiro, they be like the villain. They say
Satsuki, that shit had me screaming. All I ever wanted was a puppy. That nigga started weeping. I said, no, stop it.
He felt that.
At least that nigga Tanjiro actually trains for his power-ups.
Does he?
I'm cool with that.
Oh, shoot.
Only man character who ever trained.
Yeah, but Luffy don't.
Luffy didn't show all the off-screens it like he off-screens everything else.
Luffy was training in the prison and you kept playing about that. What are you talking
about? What would you tell me what you think about that future sight shit? That's what I want to know.
I mean, that was
you ain't never living that down.
Yeah, that was trash. That was trash.
I don't know,
that
bro.
was trash.
I keep telling people I don't like how Oda just be handing out easy power-ups for Luffy, but we don't see any merit with him whatsoever. But you know,
hold on, Dustin, you said the same thing for Bam though. He just get power-ups and you just cool with it. You can't do nothing about it.
The difference with Bam is that it's kind of understood in Tower of God because that's the one thing that's been consistent in Tower of God.
Bullshit.
It's more so like no, he's stupid. It's more so like Bam has had the thing, and Himmis could correct me if you don't think so, but it's like Bam has had it's even mentioned like Bam is like almost Shinsu itself. It's like Bam had all this power, and it's like
I feel like this is a spoiler.
And I'm not spoiling, but
we're not going to.
Okay, all right.
It just seems like he's remembering all this power as the story goes along. You know what I'm saying? That's what it kind of feels like. The way he gets.
I disagree.
Started that nigga, but
you gotta think about. You gotta think about it because he was in there. We don't know. He's called the 25th Bam. They kind of leaving that out because he's called the 25th Bam.
Hold on, that's cool, but Luffy being Joy Boy, he can't have all these power ups.
I hate that.
Oh
my! What you mean? He motherfucking Joy Boy.
And that's what I don't like about it is because it goes into that Destiny bullcrap, and that's what ruined Naruto.
All these shonen got that, man. It's so trash.
Nah, but Luffy, garbage. I hate that too though because Luffy it's been that Luffy was the chosen one. I don't know if people act like this is brand new information.
No. It's the fact that how Oda was playing it off was that any person who carries the will of D could do what Luffy does.
That's ridiculous.
But now he's openly making it to where no, this is what Luffy's doing because he's the actual embodiment of the will of D. That's what I don't like about it.
When Whitebeard told Teach that you're not the one Roger was waiting on, it already implied to you that it was just a specific person, and Luffy's the main character, so of course it's Luffy. Like I don't know what.
Yeah. But even then, like Blackbeard's supposed to be the whole reincarnation of the evil side, so it's not that bad. But nah, everything cool with it.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we can end it on that if you want to.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, we still streaming?
Sasuke got to take us out. He got to take us out properly.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was waiting on.
Oh god damn! I thought we was been done. But
I want to thank Morgan. Start with that.
No.
What the
fuck?
fuck?
You, motherfucker.
Wow.
I would have did it if you never would have tried to force that shit.
Somebody asked you for a thank you. That's so.
Bro, you see, I show up on time. I record, and I don't even get a thank you, bro. I just want to thank
you on his own.
No, man, F that, Dustin. I want to thank you now. I want it now.
That shit is desperate.
I'm waiting.
They really want to thank you.
Oh, I guess he couldn't hear me. He left. Yo, we talking about how great you were, Satsuki. What's up?
I didn't hear anything you just said because of my shit cut out.
No, we talking
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
All right. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day. That is it for the season 2 unOrdinary discussion. I want to give a shout out. Season 3. Shout out to Dustin, JD, Madara, Hemmings, Rets, myself, Hans, Morgan for recording.
Hey, I'm there. I was last, but I'm there.
You wanted to be last, but yeah. We out.
All the women that got finer after having a baby.
My lord.
Wow.
Ooh. You know what? I'm with you, bro. I'm with you on that. I co-sign. In the